Hey there, welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. My name is Raven, and today we are going to be doing a Yule vlog. This is a couple of weeks late, but honestly that is progress with how slow I've been getting videos edited. We're gonna be doing a bit of baking. I attempted to make a cranberry orange cheesecake, which had the best of intention. The things that happened. This is also the day that we got hit with our snowstorm, which we don't get regularly. The snow actually stuck until Christmas, so really cool. I started the day off with making my bed. You might notice that the walls are painted a different color. I vlogged that. It'll come up eventually. It's just not edited yet. Good theme we've got going on. So that'll come up at some point.
I try to pick one thought, have some concentration, and if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Mischief really loves getting his morning scritches. Mayhem kind of goes back and forth between whether or not she wants to be touched or not. This was not a day that she wanted to receive any scritches, which is fine because Mischief will happily take her share every single time, whether or not she actually was willing to share them. He is very cuddly, but also very grumpy. Cuddly but grumpy is kind of just his whole personality. Went ahead and got them their breakfast, and then I really needed to clean the kitchen before I could do any baking. I don't like winter. Winter doesn't do a lot of good things to my mental health. This year has been better than a lot of other years, but cleaning and doing tasks that are not fun or interesting, or that require me to have a more organized brain, they're just not getting done as often, and I'm kind of just okay with that, even though I would like it to, ease up a little bit just so I could get videos done.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up.
My husband got home while I was cleaning, and he brought in the packages that he had ordered as my Yule/Christmas gifts. And one of the gifts, the other gift that I didn't even show in this, was a king-size heated blanket, and it is fantastic and amazing. And the other fantastic and amazing gift that he got me was this motorized camera dolly that he apparently saw on Your Average Consumer and thought that I would like it. He did not know that I've actually wanted one of these for like a year, and I just never thought to bring it up to him, but I actually had been looking at getting one for myself, so he really did well on gifts this year. I spent entirely too long playing with the camera dolly. Oh god, I hear my rabbit's getting into something. Hang on. Okay, everything's fine. Mischief couldn't find me and he got freaked out, so he was trying to run circles around the living room until he found me, so now he's in my lap. Anyways, I spent entirely too long playing with the camera dolly and just figuring out how the controls worked. The instructions were a little lackluster, which is pretty typical of cheap tech off of Amazon. But after that, I went ahead, kept cleaning, made myself some coffee. I think this day I did an orange chocolate, iced latte kind of thing. I've really been liking orange syrup in my coffee. I was very unsure of how it would actually come out because I didn't know if the orange would have too artificial or too heavy of a taste, but the Torani orange syrup is actually really nice and bright, and I really liked it. It was really good. I'm almost out of it, which isn't surprising. I'm also out of peppermint now. Played some more with my camera dolly before cleaning up and getting ready to prep. I didn't wake up very early, and I knew that I needed to clean before I could, start baking, because cheesecake in particular just seems like a messy product, or not product, but a messy end result to get to. So my goal was to just get the kitchen clean and hopefully get the graham crackers crushed up in the food processor before I had therapy, which I did succeed at. I did start baking process with writing everything down on index cards, I have realized that I genuinely hate having to look at my phone while I'm looking at a recipe. One, they're normally just not, websites are just normally not formatted in a way that like is easy, and I get really aggravated with having to scroll or having to deal with pop-up ads. Went ahead, wrote it down. I normally have index cards or like a little notepad in the kitchen, and after I got it all written down, I put my noise canceling headphones in because I hate the sound that the fruit processor makes. I normally actually have my husband do this, but he was asleep because he works night. I actually had to be in the kitchen monitoring whether or not the graham crackers were getting crushed. Headphones were a absolute necessity, and I am so glad I have these. These are also a gift from my husband, actually. He got these for my birthday. He's really good at gifts. The food processor took a lot longer than I thought it would. Not like long, it's just that I thought the crush button, or whatever the button is called, I thought it would, you know, get it done, but it was really, there were way too big of chunks, so I actually just put it on high and then like walked away and just paced up and down the house to get away from it. After therapy, which was a pretty nice session, the last session of the year, and I don't know where I was ending with that, but after therapy and giving myself a little bit of a break because I tried not to jump straight into doing a thing, I started with the cheesecake. I wanted to start off with like a cranberry compote. I wanted it to be looser, and I probably should have added more water to it, but I really wanted to swirl it into the cheesecake. I miss making soap, specifically because I miss getting to swirl all the colors. I don't want to do the rest of the part of making soap. I just wanted to play with making the colors, play with swirling the colors. So I was hoping to get that kind of vibe. I overcooked the compote, or I like should have added water or something. It thickened up, but I still tried my best. Then I started with the graham cracker crust, which I am everything else might have been a complete flop, but this graham cracker crust came out so smooth and so pretty. I was really proud of myself. It's probably because I like food processed the graham crackers into smithereens, but like it was worth it, and I'm so like it was so pretty. This is the smoothest I have ever gotten one, and you can't take that from me. And then I started with the cheesecake batter. Oh, Mayhem's in here with us now. I was kind of worried that this would come out weird, but this was actually a really nice cheese. Like, it had a really good flavor profile. I was so happy with the texture of the batter. I'm really easily pleased with batter textures. If they're just, they make me so happy. Batter is so pretty. And I had let the cheesecake, not the cheesecake, but the cream cheese rest at room temperature pretty much all day because I didn't want it to be too stiff, and I feel like that was the right decision. I also went ahead and like zested a little bit more of the orange that I had for this cheesecake. I did zest most of it and use most of the juice that I could get in the cranberry compote. I was kind of worried about the eggs because sometimes I split the batter with eggs, but I don't know if it's because there's no flour in this or because nothing was too cold or too warm, but like it was fine. here is where I try to swirl the cheesecake and cranberry, which I don't think it looks bad, and it didn't taste bad. It's just, I really wanted the pretty swirls. It was just a set expectation. So I did not have a springform pan to bake all of this in. I did have a cake pan that was the size that was recommended, but I don't think it was tall enough for this recipe. I also think that because I didn't have a roasting pan that was large enough to do a bain-marie, I feel like I just butchered that pronunciation, and I know I can't even think of how to pronounce it. But because I couldn't, bake it in water, I don't know if that's where everything went wrong, or if it was just, I really don't know. I felt like the recipe called for way too high of a baking temperature, but I haven't really ever baked a cheesecake, so I wasn't gonna go off of my gut that was completely uninformed. And I forgot to get a clip that when I took it out, but when I actually pulled it out of the oven, it was like 2 inches way too tall. It exploded out of the cake pan, which I don't know if that's because I didn't use a bain-marie or if that's just because the pan. I really don't know. I also don't know if the recipe, would have worked better with a bain-marie, because it didn't say anything about needing to cook with one in anywhere on the website. So that's basically why I picked this recipe, because I knew I wouldn't be able to do a bain-marie, and I really wish I knew how to pronounce it a little more confidently with how many times I've said it. So while everything was baking, and then it had to sit in the fridge for 4 hours, so basically overnight, the whole plan was, cheesecake for breakfast the next day, I had to do the puzzles with the babies. They are on this routine, and if I dare forget, Mayhem looks like I stole her puppy, and it hurts my feelings, so I have to fix it. But they have puzzle toys that I've gotten from Chewy and Amazon. And they do those every night. I want to find a new one to add to their rotation, because I feel like they're gonna get bored. And normally after puzzles, if my back is feeling okay, I do hurdles. These hurdles are really high tech. They are hot glued toilet paper rolls, and they work really well. I don't let the rabbits play with them regularly. These are put away on a tabletop that they can't get to, because I don't want them to chew on the hot glue, but they love jumping over them, and I think it's so freaking cute. And lately I've noticed that they wouldn't play with these little wicker balls that I had gotten them off of Chewy, and I wanted to find a way to incorporate them playing with them. So I taught Mayhem how to play basketball, kind of, because she can pick up the balls a lot easier with her mouth. Her mouth is pretty narrow. And I taught Mischief how to play soccer. Sounds ridiculous, and it's fantastic. Because his mouth is his face is too flat, so he can't really pick up the balls, but he can push them a lot better. Mayhem can't push as well because her face is narrow. Anyways, back to the cheesecake. It's so overbaked, and I'm really sad about how overbaked it was, because honestly, those parts where it's really brown, the texture was just not enjoyable, and so we only ate a couple of slices out of this cheesecake. Oh no, I think I just lost my crust. Okay, well that's fine. I can scoop the crust out. Okay, come on, we can do this. Yeah, we can do this. Did I lose the crust? Oh yeah, I lost all the crust. Oh, it's brutalized. I killed it. Oh no. Give me my crust. Let go. Okay. I really did enjoy making this cheesecake. I was having fun the entire time. And even when it came out super wrong, I wasn't even mad about it. I think baking in the winter it's a classic for a reason. It makes you feel better, it makes your house smell better, and it's something that you can use to like bring people together, which is so important when there's no sunlight and no like nothing you can do outside without getting frostbite. I did go outside and get some footage of the snow. I think we got more later that day. It was snowing very heavily, but some of it had melted in the sun. It was so pretty, and I'm really glad that our power didn't go out this year. We could not really drive anywhere for a few days, but we had tried to prepare for that as best we could, and we had half a cheesecake to eat throughout the process, which was not as good as I was hoping, but like, you know, it still happened. We had cheesecake, and we also had cookies and all of the things. I have totally babbled way too much, but thank you for watching. I hope you are having a wonderful day, or that tomorrow is better. Please hit subscribe if you want to see my videos in the future, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.